Good morning, class. Today we are going to be reviewing our vocab words that we created yesterday. Remember our vocab books that we started? If you all want to flip to this week's page and flip to the words behind it, that will be very helpful for the lesson today. The two words that we learned yesterday were forage and munch. The definition of forage is to search in a place for food. You should have put in yesterday your word and your definition. So I reminded you of the word, which is forage, and the definition, to search in a place for food. I want to see everyone pointing to the word and on their page so that we can choral read this together. Alrighty? On the count of three, we're going to say the word. 1, 2, 3. Forage. Alrighty? And now let's choral read the definition. To search in a place for food. Alrighty, now I would like you guys to turn to your partner next to you and repeat the word and the definition. Alrighty, thank you. Now let's flip to the next page. Our other word from yesterday is munch. The definition we created was to make noise from a mouth while eating. Again, I told you the word, which is munch, and then the definition, to make noise from a mouth while eating. We should all have the same word and the same definition, so point to your word, and let's say it out loud together. Munch. Now let's say the definition. To make noise from a mouth while eating. Alrighty, good. Now can you please turn to your partner and say the word and definition. Perfect. Now I'd like you guys to turn back to the word forage. Yesterday, we made a connection to this word and said it's like hunting. Like you hunt for food, or how an animal hunts for food, hunts their prey because they're going to eat. So that was our connection yesterday. Now, I made a new connection today and said I look for food. I go to the cabinet and I look for cereal. I look for milk to make my breakfast. So we know that look is similar to the word forage, and that's my connection. We also learned that forage is a verb yesterday, so a lot of our connection words or our connections to it might be in the sense of a verb. So I told you what connection we made yesterday. I told you my new connection. Now I'd like you to turn to your partners again and please make a new connection that you can remember with this word, and you can either put it on the back of your slip or on the side. I'll be walking around during this time and just listening to their connections. And if I hear a really good one, I might ask them if we could tell the class. Alrighty, Tony, you had a great connection. What was your connection? Well, you see, I think sometimes we seek for food. That's an awesome connection. Good job, Tony. Alrighty, now we're going to flip to our next word, the word that we've already done the word and definition. The word is munch. We also discussed that this is a verb, and yesterday we made the connection that instead of munching your food, maybe you chew your food. And this connection I'm going to make with this is this morning my brother was sitting across the table at me, and he was sitting there munching his food with his mouth wide open. He was chewing, and he wouldn't shut his mouth. So that's my connection to munch today. So I told you our connection yesterday was we said we could also chew. Today I told you my brother was munching his food with his mouth wide open. So now I want you to turn to your partner again and go ahead and make a new connection. Again, I'll walk around and I'll listen for really good connections and we'll discuss. Alrighty, so they're done. Now we are going to introduce the idea of synonyms. So yesterday for munch we made the connection that chew is like munch. A synonym is something that is similar to the word, that has similar meaning. So what is a synonym? We'll repeat it. Something that's similar to the word. So a synonym to munch is chew. What's a similar to munch? What's synonym to munch? Chew. Good job. So let's think of a few more. I know chew is similar to munch. Another thing that I think of when I munch is eat. I think eat is also similar to munch because in our definition we also have while eating. So eat is going to be similar to munch. So let's write this on the board. And then we come up with synonyms like chew, chomp, champ, crunch, eat, gnaw, nibble, snack, and I write them on the board, and then I give them time. So we go through them and we say how they're similar, and then we will write them in our synonyms square, and I'll show you guys. So now we have them on the board, and let's go ahead and write them down on here so that whenever you need to know what's similar to a munch, if it's not a good word to use, maybe you can go flip to that page and be like, oh, I really like the word nibble. I'm going to use nibble in the story instead of munch. Alrighty, so let's see. Everybody point to your box once you're done, and I'll come around and check. So go around and check. Da, 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 da. Good job. I really like how Sarah even added another word that she thought was similar that we didn't put up on the word. Sarah, would you like to share that? Sarah shares. Now let's flip to forage. We just learned that a synonym is what? Something that is similar to the word. Can we say that together? A synonym is something that is similar to the word. Good job. So now we're looking at forage. The first day we made the connection that hunt is similar. So hunt's a synonym. Let me write it on the board. I also made the connection that search is similar because I searched the cabinets for milk. I searched the fridge for milk. So let's write search up there. Now turn to your partner and figure out a few more synonyms. I walk around, I listen. Oh yes, Tony, you had a great synonym. Will you share with the class? Look, look's a synonym. Okay, so we write it down. And then I'd call on a few more people and we would come up with hunt, search, look, scavenge, scrounge, explore, raid, seek, rummage, and whatever else they come up with. We would then, I will show you guys, we're going to put our words from the board right in here. So I'm going to write them down. And now I need you guys to, and once you're done, point to it so I know you're done and I can see it. So I walk around and I check. Alrighty, and now we are going to play our synonym slap game. We know 2 words this week. We know munch and we know forage. So in each bag, you're going to play with 2 or 3 people. I will partner you up once it's done. You're going to have words. And the words are either going to be similar to munch, synonyms of munch, synonyms of forage, or they're not going to be synonyms of any. So you lay your cards flat down on the table like so, where you can't see any of them. And you or your partner, you play rock, paper, scissors to decide who goes first. So I'm going to pick up a word. Look. You say it out loud as you pick it up. You put it down. And you think, you're like, I think look is similar to forge. So if you think it is, you slap it. And then you'd be like, look is similar to forge. So it's a synonym. And your partners go turn in the book. So I'm going to turn in my book. And I'm like, oh, look. Look is right there. So yes, it is a synonym. So then the person who slapped it gets to keep it. So let's see. I'm going through and then I find another one. Gnaw. Gnaw, let me think. Gnaw. Ooh, gnaw's like eating, which munch is also like eating, so I slap it again. And I'm like, gnaw is similar to munch. And then your partner checks and they're like, oh yeah, good job. And then you pick up this word named smile. And you're like, smile doesn't have any synonyms. So you're like, this doesn't have a synonym to any of our words. So you're just going to put it off to the side and you're going to disregard it. And then you're going to pick up another word and you're going to be like, crunch. Crunch is like forge, and you smack it and you're like, your partner looks it up and they're like, it's not though. So you're like, oh, okay, I'll get it right next time. They tell you what it's similar to. They say it's actually similar to munch, not forge. So you're like, okay, now I know. Next time I pick it up, I'm going to remember. So then you just put it back in the pile and you start over. And it's all good. We're all going to make mistakes, but that's why you have a partner who's going to be there to help you out. So now I showed you. Now let's do it as partners. Then I'll go around and make sure you're doing it right. Alrighty, thank you, class. Good job.